Good morning, guys. In my mobile video studio here, rolling out to an appointment with Social Security. It's a little after 11, and my goal is to get there early. Because the last time I had to wait 40 minutes, and I was there ahead of my appointment time, only 3 or 4 minutes ahead of appointment time, but I was there ahead of the time. So I want to avoid that, minimize the amount of time I'm away from Susie. We did a maiden voyage yesterday where I went to Trader Joe's, so got her feet wet with me being out of the house for, it was about 50 minutes. Anyway, lots going on. They say experience is the best teacher, and boy, am I getting a bunch of experience. Kind of a brief recap. I don't think I've touched on this in any detail in the previous videos. When you get released from the hospital, they made home health care available to me on Part A, which I didn't think was a possibility, and still confusion over how much of that do we get, what's my part of the cost on it. So that's still an open question, and obviously it's a concern. I want to make sure Susie gets care and good care, and boy, it's a welcome relief to have somebody give me a call and say, hey, I want to give Susie a bath or shower or sponge bath or whatever, and boy, do I want to take advantage of that. And so, kind of the process, and I mentioned this in a previous video, is somehow a bunch of companies get your name. I know the hospital said we've referred you, and I thought that was to one company, but I guess it wasn't. And so my phone was kind of blowing up with phone calls and texts and stuff. And I understand, this is private enterprise at its finest, where they're hustling. And in a way, it feels good to have somebody hustling to get your business. Hopefully they're motivated once they get the signature to follow through, but it seems like that's happening. So anyway, I met with Mike on Friday. He's a guy that's built like a brick house, man. The guy, you can tell he works out. It kind of reminds me of who's the guy? The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Anyway, he comes in and he's matter of fact, and he's an RN too. So, and they have this little shtick. It's kind of like the theater of making the sale. So they come in and they have a little disposable thing that they'll put either on a chair or on the floor to put their, place their feet on. I'm thinking, well, you already walked into the house. If you had anything on your shoes, it's already in the house. But it's cool. I understand the psychology of it in terms of making the sale. And they have the little face mask on, the N95 or whatever. So anyway, I had met with somebody prior to him, and I was thinking, I want minimal hassle. If I feel good about this first appointment, I'm just going to go with them and tell the other people I've already engaged somebody. Anyway, on Friday morning, I had an appointment with Bella from the first company, and it was at 11. At least that's what she said via text. And it's 10 minutes after 11. And no Bella, no phone call, no text, and I'm kind of wondering what's up. Is this person going to make the appointment or not? And then when she arrived, she was a nice young woman, I'd say late 20s, early 30s. She's a RN as well, and she put the disposable cloth on put it on the chair that she sat on. So anyway, Bella's I'm asking lots of questions. How's this work? And what do you have on your team? And I think they had OT and speech. Oh no, they had speech and physical therapy and a medical social worker, but they didn't have an OT, and they were looking to hire somebody. And I thought, I don't know. I'd like somebody ready to rock and roll. And then I said to her near the end of our meeting, I said, I'm going to be very candid with you. I said, well, our clock in the living room, it runs 10 minutes fast. So it said 20 after 11 when she arrived, which I had forgotten that it was 10 minutes fast and just thought, okay, she's 20 minutes late. And so I said, I tell you, you've got one opportunity to make a first impression. And you were late. You were 20 minutes late. And she wanted to say, no, I wasn't 20 minutes late. It was 10 minutes late or whatever. And I said, listen, whether you were 10 minutes or 20 minutes late, you're not going to win this argument. I have a perception. Oh, she said, well, I meant 11, but 11 to, flexible, like 11 to 11:30 or 11 to 12, whatever. I said, well, that isn't what you communicated to me. You said 11. And so my expectation was that you'd be here at 11, and if you weren't here at 11, you'd text me or call me, okay? Because your first appointment, you're at your best. And if this is your best, it's not going to be good enough. I need to be an advocate for my wife. So anyway, I said, Bella, you're probably a really good person. You're probably very competent medically. But at this point in time, I'm not going to commit to you. And she didn't want to see Susie. I'm thinking, they're telling me a nurse is coming to the house. And I'm thinking, okay, they want to see Susie or whatever. And she's saying, until you engage me, I can't see your wife or can't touch your wife or whatever. And so I said to her, I said, listen, I may call you back. This isn't the door isn't closed for sure, but I'm just telling you, I'm going to talk with other people. I need to feel more comfortable with who I deal with. Sorry, guys. You've been talking to the armrest, or listening to the armrest talk to you. So anyway, 2 hours later, I meet with Mike, and Mike's just like Joe Friday from Dragnet. He didn't say just the facts, man, but he's like a man on a mission, just boom, 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 asking for the hospital documents at Susie's release. He's looking through them. He's saying, okay, this blah, blah, blah. Here's the form, sign here, assumptive close. And he says, I'd like to see your wife, take her blood pressure, take a few vitals, just see her in general. And I told them a whole long story about, her medical history and all that stuff. So he took her blood pressure. I think that was about it. And then after that, I get a call the next day from Jackie, who's a nurse, and she comes over and we talk a bit. And she wants to, I guess she's assessing Susie, so she does blood pressure check and I think temperature and oximeter or whatever that is that measures your blood oxygen. And I think there were a few other things that her little widget noted. And so I said, Jackie, are you a one-off or am I going to see you again? She said, no, I usually work in Palo Alto. I'm a one-off. Okay, so yesterday was Sunday. Today's Monday the 13th. And so Sunday I get 3 calls from this organization that I've signed up with. I get a call, first call I get is from Alexandra. And she says, I'm a home health aide, or she said the initials HHA or whatever. And so she says, I'd like to come at 1 o'clock on Tuesday to give your wife either a bath, a shower, or a sponge bath. And I said, great. So right now I don't have the bathtub set up. I need to assemble a bench, specialized bench that I bought that needs some assembly. I'm not sure what. I think it's pretty simple. Need to take out the sliding glass doors and the frame around it, which isn't a big deal. and then put in a shower curtain and a shower rod, and I have all those things. It just takes time, and I haven't prioritized that. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between doing all that and maybe just having her do a sponge bath, and it's something I would want to be a participant in, not spectating. So I thought maybe that's a good opportunity for me to learn how to do a proper sponge bath, even though it wouldn't be as nice a thing for Susie as having a full shower. So kind of on the fence about that. So next person that calls me is a physical therapist, and she wanted to try to get in this afternoon around 1. And I'm concerned about time conflicts with this Social Security appointment and me getting home and feeding Susie and maybe doing a diaper change. So I told her, 1 o'clock, it's too tight. And I think she was booked the rest of the day, and she says, listen, Wednesday might be a possibility. I'll get back with you. I said, okay, cool. So physical therapy is somewhere in the future, don't know yet. And then the last call I got was another nurse, Christine, said that she wanted to come today between 2 and 3. And we did it all via text. She left me a voicemail, and all these people I'm telling, text me. It's the fastest and easiest way for me to respond, because if you call, sometimes I have my hands busy and stuff. And it could be Susie, it could be the garden, it could be making lunch, whatever, So, and I've also told them parking's tight and park in my driveway. So, anyway, that's kind of what happened yesterday in terms of people. The cavalry is showing up. So, that's so welcome. I can't tell you how welcome that is, because I feel like I've been derelict in doing the therapy kind of things. So the learnings, the experience being the best teacher, 2 things. One I have mentioned before, I've had a concern with a catheter bag and, doing transfer of fluids from a catheter bag to the plastic jug that they call a urinal, and getting that on our carpet in the bedroom. And I have a little tub that's about 10 inches deep, about 13 by 20 inches approximately. And that's been working out great. So yesterday, my sequence is in the morning, first thing is Susie gets her thyroid pill, because she needs at least 30 minutes between that pill and any food or other medications. So thyroid pill. Next thing is empty the urine bag or the catheter bag, and then do a diaper change. And so I did all that, but the mistake I made, actually I made 2 mistakes. One mistake, the big one, was not clicking the little crimper to block off flow of the urine. And the second mistake was I wasn't keeping the tub underneath the catheter bag during the day. I was only using it when I was transferring fluids. So I left it unsecured, uncrimped, and didn't discover that until probably 4 or 5 hours later. So who knows how much fluid flowed into the carpet. And so I'm grabbing a towel and trying to blot up the urine. I'm going to Google to see what you can do with household items available to get rid of urine and potential future urine smell. So I'm putting together a solution of water, vinegar, and a little bit of dish soap. They say don't scrub it, just blot it. You don't want to scrub it because it works it into the fibers of the carpet and the mat. So I did that, and then I went on Amazon and immediately ordered some kind of enzyme solution that you spray on to get rid of the odor, smell of urine. This room tends to be the warmest room in the house, so obviously I'm running air to keep Susie comfortable when it's warmer. So, but again, I'm just praying that this isn't a problem. And then the other experience that I had is last night, Susie didn't want to eat her dinner. I didn't know why, but she didn't. She wanted just the prune juice. And so I said, okay. I wound up eating her dinner. I'm kind of the human garbage disposal. Anything she's not consuming, I'm eating it. And then I'm doing whatever. I'm eating second. It's just that I'm too cheap. Susie calls it scarcity thinking, and maybe it is. That's how I'm wired. It's part of who I am or how I behave. But so anyway, didn't eat dinner. I forget. I was involved in something. Didn't check on her till about 8. And she was dozed off, and I thought normally I'd be checking her diaper and doing a diaper change, and I thought, nah, I don't want to disturb her. Big mistake. So this morning, early, I can smell essence, and so I thought, geez, I need to change that thing. So I give her thyroid, and I told her, listen, I need to change you. So she had double the volume of feces, but the good news is it's soft. So I've said before, I have a concern about lack of bowel movements based on her history in the hospital. Plus they were giving her meds for stool softeners, which I don't want to use if I can avoid it. Do it all by diet. So good news is the diet's working. Bad news is double the volume. A bigger mess to clean up. Used more than twice the wipes and solutions and stuff, and got a little fecal material on her catheter line, and I worked really hard to get that cleaned up. Not feeling real confident that I did it perfect, so that's a deep concern of mine. And so I think I'm going to text the nurse just to give her a heads up that's showing up at 2 to 3, what went on, and see if there's anything I can do in the interim. Maybe she can take a look, hopefully. So I'm at Social Security, and their parking lot seems pretty full. Last time I was here, I kind of parked in here's a spot. So luck is with me. It's 11:36. I need to hustle. We'll see you guys.